Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video will continue part 12 of the restart in civilization. And the first thing we'll do is they will discover this area. And discoveries start moving north in North America. With a big discovery being made, a new island, yay. But as they continue up into more northern parts of North America, it gets colder again. But anyways, they are conquering it. I don't know how far they are. Probably with technologies around the 1200s. With a lot of North America getting discovered, but still not a lot in compared to its full size. That area being found, and in the south, well, the coast continues to be explored, but some explorers are moving more inland, which is a bit of a deal, I guess. They've explored these lands. Technologies are sharing it better, I guess, probably in all the world. Some places better than others. Probably not as good technology in the Americas. Or maybe even better. Hard to say. And they move down Brazil's coast more. Let's see what happens in Asia. Well, the discovery of this island takes place. And eventually the discovery of all of it takes place. With the first discovery of Australia. But they probably don't call it this, so let's think of a name. Comment names for countries. They even discover the Starfish Island, even though I don't know the name of it. But for their point, it's not called what we would call it. And that's mostly for the discoveries, except finally, and I mean finally, this area has been discovered. Now let's see what happens to the Blue Country. Well, the Blue Country is a bit of turmoil from the collapse of the last empire that took over all the place. So a new nation forms, with revolts happening in that region of the empire. And they expand around it, forming a new country. The Orange-Brown Country is what they call it. With them moving across this vast territory, with them conquering quite a bit of land, until a peace treaty is agreed upon, which leads to a bit of succession. With the Arabian Peninsula, a big chunk of it leaves, which is basically green. And then another chunk leaves over here. And well, this country has pretty much collapsed. And in North America, well, Yellow Country continues its expansionism. And basically, we could call it anything. If you want to name a country in the comments. And you might be lucky and get that name to stick. If you are lucky, which you probably will be. But anyways. With the Purple Country expanding their empire. More imperial in this side of the world, I guess. Maybe. What about when they cross the ocean? Ooh, that's going to be fun. But anyways. With this, well, Aqua Country pushing against another country and going to enter a war with them. Once the full world is conquered, I'll probably start drawing like borders and lines and stuff, as the map would normally be seen as. And yeah, eventually they get this far, but then they are pushed back over here. But then this leads to a front opening over here. And yeah. Although they managed to push them out of the south, which is pretty good, honestly. And they then move back into this region as they start claiming it as theirs. Their claims extend, well, down here to here. But they also claim out there. And eventually they get what they want after a treaty is signed. Well, what they get was really worth this conflict. The Purple Country is pretty large and expansionist looking and scary. Starts a war, but this goes pretty poorly. This war goes really bad for them. But them being pushed back. I don't know how Ireland isn't discovered yet, honestly. Guess nobody's interested, maybe, in exploring there. And eventually they go to a peace treaty, which leads to the most northern areas of the empire forming their own country. And with that country that was once massive still having land here. But these nations probably going to even shrink more because we're probably at a time where nations get small again. Because nations rise and fall. In almost everything, nations will rise, then fall. But not always. With a nation over here declaring its sovereignty, there's still a big chunk left of this empire. This one is falling apart. Within the south, since it's more so, well, this area around is where all the, government is, I believe. And then this area, the southern area, declares independence. It really became a succession crisis. With a weird state being formed, as places are only declaring independence based on its borders at this point. And all that we have left is this, which this empire, not liking its borders, invades in. Another empire takes land from them, and so on. Eventually, they're just left with this. And this nation over here, well, the nation that used to be located around, the Caspian Sea, well, they're back with a bit more land than they had before. With another nation declaring its independence. It's located around here. With the nation that lost land still gaining some land, but as you can tell, there's more countries showing up now as a big empire has fallen. And when big empires fall, well, a lot of people get independence. And with an eventual discovery of the island and the establishment of a new country here, I don't know what they would call it, but it could be called anything really. With a big, massive change happening in this region, with this country declaring independence. They just gained all this land, and a country here declares independence. Actually, 3 countries in the region declare independence, if you can believe that. But you'll see it soon. With this nation declaring independence, and another nation over there declaring independence, a lot of nations are, just becoming into this series. With a nation declaring its independence over here. Well, nothing there. Weird. I'm going to make something there just so the borders don't look too bad. And as you can see, this episode had a lot of countries join. Hopefully I can have another one like this soon. But let's go to this country, which is starting to expand away from the Great Lakes. And they start to move over here. Well, yeah, it's working well. And they manage to find an island, and they conquer this island. Some land, what to call it? What can be something they can call it? Yeah, let's call it Fogland. That's what they call it. That's a discovery. With them trying to go north, but it's really cold up here. Compared to Europe's north. But they do manage to get land. With the country that's in Asia and North America, or the Russia of this series, better known as probably, has started to move in. It's not really the Russia of the series, but it kind of acts like Russia. Because Russia is in both places directly, basically. Not exactly directly. With that country getting bigger on 2 sides, it's hard to keep rule between the 2 sides, but anyways. This country moving south a bit. I like how I have, every continent has countries. It's, better that way, I think. And now, let's see the Australian country form itself. Yep, that's a good country, I think. And that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys! Have a nice